Bourbon Barkeep. Curtis is back.
Noah's back.
Welcome.
Welcome in.
We're gonna go third person, whole time.
Yeah, that's fun.
Probably.
Noah agrees, man.
So we have kind of a double episode, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
March Madness is fun, grueling, some would say, high intensity, high endurance.
It was. It took a lot out of me. I'm sure.
It put us
you
behind.
as well.
It put us behind.
For you as well, I'm sure. Yeah.
So that wheel kept going and bottles kept getting released.
Yeah.
And here we are with the as late as you can be Old Forester 1924 review.
Yeah, excited about it. 10 years old. Not easily seen or found or bought. So
Yeah.
congrats to you for being able to track this one down. I'm excited to be able to taste it with you. So
What was nice was this was supposed to be a different episode, and then I ran into the New Riff 8-year
right.
and love New Riff, respect what they're doing.
Yeah.
Love the bottle. And I was
Classic.
like, well, it's a bourbon, so here we are.
Yeah, 8 years old. This is the first 8-year release that they put out, if I'm not mistaken.
The oldest release that they've put out, yes.
As well. So I have had their single barrel, which I enjoyed quite a bit.
Okay.
So looking forward to finding a new love with New Riff in the 8-year.
So to give respect to the 10-year, the older sibling, if you will, we'll hit on the Old Forester first.
Yeah.
Taste it,
Score it,
obviously.
and then do the same for New Riff 8.
Without further ado,
Yeah.
we'll tell New Riff to respectfully F off for the next
Wait its turn.
7 to 15 to 22 minutes, depending on our rambling.
Wait its turn for sure. So Old Forester, just diving into a quick synopsis of why it's called 1924.
Please.
In 1924, a guy named Owsley Brown. Owsley.
I've heard worse. That's for sure.
Owsley. This guy took barrels of whiskey with different mash bills to a warehouse on Howard Street in Louisville.
Is it important?
Louisville. And bottled them as Old Forester. This 10-year-old expression honors the 100th anniversary of this occasion. So obviously 2024.
I like it.
Did you have anything as far as Old Forester in general and their history that you wanted to touch on?
No, I mean, this is going to be, I think, one of 3 age-stated bourbons that they put out. The first on Whiskey Row.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Old Forester. Some people like it more than me. I'm excited to see what they have. I am kind of curious. They did change up the mash bill. I don't know if that was because of the story that was given in terms of Owsley finding these different barrels out there and using them under the Old Forester name.
Yeah.
But that would have been kind of cool to see if they were to like feature a different distiller to kind of give honor to that. So this is not the typical Whiskey Row Old Forester mash bill. So the typical Old Forester is 72, 18, and 10.
Okay.
This one is the early times mash bill,
Ooh.
which is that, what are we saying, 79, 11, and 10.
Yeah.
So there's the conspiracy between like, hey, Brown Forman sold off early times, so now you got the screw cap with Sazerac Company.
Yeah.
Did Old Forester hang back some of these barrels?
We'll find out. Granted, I wouldn't be able to answer that question even after tasting, but
That's true. So I think outside of that, we have the MSRP of 115, so that will play into our bang for the buck scoring.
yeah, not exactly cheap. It's a good step above your 90 to 100, your barrel proofs that you're getting used to as far as paying that much for your Elijah Craigs and your Larcenies. This is a good chunk more than that, so I'm hoping it tastes as such.
Yes. Yeah. We'll get into, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Both.
Was it worth it?
Is and was.
Yeah, was it worth it? Maybe it will be.
We'll see.
See you, man.
Without
See you
further
guys.
ado.
Thanks for being here. Handful of new subs in the past week or two, a large handful. So thank you if you're new and revisiting for the first time. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice. As the small channel, you're like, we got one more.
I know, like I text you like, we're at 177.
Let her eat.
All right.
Is this the time to say like and subscribe to?
Yeah, like and subscribe if you would, if you're here for the first time. I'm getting like an apple cider vinegar almost. It's not like super vinegary, but it doesn't have the sweetness as like what a normal like apple cider would be. It's got a little more sour to it, but
There is kind of like vinegar makes it seem like it's turned.
soured, yeah. But it's not like a nice Thanksgiving apple cider sweetness either. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I would imagine that you're smelling that oak starting to kind of come through to where, what you would expect. I mean, it's a 10-year, but
It's a nice nose.
I do really like that nose.
Very, very strong. I would guess more than 100 proof if it were just based on this alone.
Yeah, this is one to where if you gave me a $100 whiskey, and you're like, smell that, it was this.
I respect the nose for sure. And like I said, I'd be probably more 107, 110 proof. Like this has some heat, some sharpness to it.
Yes, I'm going more like a cherry pie, allspice, which includes cinnamon, but maybe someone was a little heavy-handed on the allspice with the cinnamon.
Sure. Yeah, the oak's definitely coming through more than it did 60 seconds ago.
God, that nose is
It's delightful.
really nice.
All right, I'm tipping it.
I just want to live in the nose. You got like the nice like honey graham cracker. Oh man, that's nice.
Wow. I'm getting like kind of like deep, like fruits, like a plum, prune. I don't know if it's dried out like to make a prune, but
Fair. I go a little brighter. I think I go like a raspberry.
do you?
Raspberry.
I can see raspberry too. Raspberry's kind of a deeper sweetness for me. It's not like cranberry where it's like tart.
It's tough because I want to push myself to donut to where there's that vanilla in there, but I don't know if like the pastry,
The
is
jelly-filled
that sweet.
donut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting the oak. The oak takes a minute on both the nose and the palate for me.
And it's a sweet oak. I mean, it's not, I know we've talked about kind of that damp basement or damp oak before to where
Or
this
it's like
one
kind of
is just a really nice, not toasted, but like a nice sweet oak. I mean, very well rounded. Nice cinnamon spice kind of on the finish.
yeah. I'm a pretty big fan. The finish is what you want it to be. You can't expect a ton considering it's not, a 120 barrel proof bourbon. I mean, it is 100 proof, so it's not like you're going to get your socks blown off, but it's what you want it to be at that point.
Yeah. So if I went cons, it is light.
Yeah.
Light on the tongue. The 100 drinks nice. I think it's scary drinkable. I would put it that way.
Like that, it'd be pretty easy to sit there like for a ball game and have like 4 of those in like 2 hours, and you get up to use the bathroom for the first time and you trip over something, and it's really tough to get up at that point. It'd kind of be one of those things. But yeah, like you said, it's very drinkable. You can have 2 or 3 of these and not know it. And that's, I mean, it's 100 proof. Like I do need to mix probably more of these style bourbons into my routine, if you will. I'm a big barrel proof guy. I love the 120, 125 stuff. So getting these 100 proofs, even the 95s, like kind of back in rotation is something that, especially coming up on summer, not to timestamp ourselves, but that probably going to need a necessity at some point here soon.
Well, I think this is nice as, we've referenced some of the Elijah Craig. What else have we done? Knob Creek, things like that, to where they've been highly crushable, but they also are like kind of a 2-note hitter. Not in a bad, like there's a place for those for sure. They're priced appropriately. Whereas this one being $115, I feel like we could sit here, kind of break down the whiskey and still enjoy half the bottle. Whereas the other one, you're just kind of drinking to taste whiskey. Whereas this one, stuff is coming out. I wouldn't say it falls flat. I mean, the nose is still kind of opening up. It gives you more and more, but it doesn't give you a ton between back of the palate to the finish either.
Right.
Well, let's go into senses, and
score.
then bang for the buck. I'll kind of give my 2 cents as well.
Senses. Okay. If you haven't been here before, we have 8 categories that our scores will help fall into. So 0 to 100, where does this fall for me? I'm probably going 77, 78. I'll say 78 because I'm in a good mood today. It's not into the great to fantastic category, which is 80 to 89 for us, but it's a damn good bottle. I'm happy with it.
I mean, this is price completely thrown to the side.
Exactly.
Whether it's $1,000 or $20,
How much do I enjoy it?
Good, pleasurable.
Yeah.
I do think it's around that same range. I do really like it. I think I'm trying to poke holes in it with the price. So if I went pure juice, the nose, which we don't grade separately, so I'll run through quickly. Nose, I would say, is like a 92.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
The palate, it's just a little thin. Like, I do wish it was just a little more oily, which maybe the proof would have brought it, maybe the proof would have hindered it and made it a little more sour.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'll probably go I'll go 77.
Really, really good bottle. And that's what the category's for. This is the good stuff.
It's good to great. I can't put it into 80.
Yeah.
I want to. I just can't.
So bang for the buck. This is where we do take price into account, and this is really the only thing we focus on, the bang for the buck. $115, and you just kind of have to ask yourself, do I think this bottle is worth that? Would I pay more for that if I saw it again on the shelf? Would I scoff at it if I saw it again for that same price on the shelf?
Yeah.
I'm probably going even 50. I'm not crazy upset it's $115. I'm not paying more than $115, excuse me, if I saw it again. It's an even 50 for me. That's all I'll say.
I'm gonna go 52.
Okay.
Like I think I paid 125. I wouldn't back it up, but if I didn't have one, I would pay 125 and that is it.
Okay.
As cheap as it sounds, if it's 130, I'm out, knowing it should be 150.
Yeah, everybody's like, well, you're gonna let $5 decide like your happiness or whatever, and I'm like, well,
I'm letting 15.
yeah, you can't sit there and just have no line. Like eventually $5 will decide it. You got to have some sort of line. I'm just not willing to go across. So
Yeah, this is very smooth. It's worth having.
Sure.
But I'm not paying up.
Cool. All right, those scores are added, as we said, into the Bourbon Barkeep Whiskey of the Year 2024 Excel sheet. That's on our Patreon. The link is below. If you want to see what's on there, on to New Riff. New Riff 8.
New Riff. I have only had one other New Riff. It was a pick, and it was delightful. It was one to where like I had a couple glasses before, wasn't buzzing. Like it was just like testing things.
Yeah.
Poured it, forgot what I poured. I was like, damn it, that's good.
Yeah.
Went back and I was like, New Riff, good for you guys.
And that, I think the single barrel, the pick you were talking about, the store pick.
Yeah.
What, $52 I think is what I got my single barrel for. So it's not expensive at all.
No, reasonably priced, but as we mentioned earlier, the 8-year, very new. Very excited for them. They started it back, I believe they broke ground on their distillery in like 2014. Immediately put out a bottled in bond 4.5 years later.
Yeah.
So supposedly what they've been doing is they've been obviously putting out their product, but they've been holding back 20, 30% of their product. And here we are.
Yeah. Cool.
So I don't know what categorizes a craft distiller, but I think we'll reference them as a craft distiller. But a craft distiller having an 8-year bourbon that's made in-house deserves a lot more credit than what it probably gets.
It's impressive, and yeah, it's not done a whole lot, as you said. So
yes. This mash bill, 65, 30% rye,
ooh,
and 5% malted barley.
Okay. Hi, rye.
So this will be a kind of a nice Old Forester into something completely different.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll ask which one do we like more, but ultimately I'm excited to have kind of a higher rye tonight as well.
So 8-year, 100 proof. You said MSRP on this was
68.
Yeah, it wasn't very crazy.
Yeah.
So cool. So a nice step down from what we just came from.
100 proof and not chill filtered.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're hoping for a good mouthfeel.
Of course.
As we all are.
Of course.
Cheers again.
To you. All right.
Oh, I didn't tap. That still counts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a lot more cherry.
Ooh. Yeah, this is kind of more traditional nose, like your brown sugar, your cinnamon. I get the cherry as well.
Yeah, just a cherry pie. Mm-hmm. Like walk into your local.
This kind of remind you of the Weller 107? Kind of does for me.
A little bit. Maybe like a nutmeg and cherry pie on the nose.
Yeah.
That is really nice. Much sweeter than Old Forester, but Old Forester had that complexity and sweet oak in there. That was really nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love what touched my tongue. Mm-hmm. It was so quick.
The finish is a little kind of dry and chalky, if you know what I mean. Like it's like a cinnamon, but you know, remember the cinnamon challenge? Where you just like eat dry cinnamon? It like completely dried my throat out, which I don't love. But as far as the actual notes go, like I don't mind that cinnamon finish, that like heavy cinnamon leather finish.
Yeah, leather was going to be one that came to mind, and I still get kind of like a black pepper, black tea as well.
I don't know black tea. I'm not a tea guy, but I'll trust you on that one.
This nose actually is opening up better. Once again, not on purpose. Nose is better than the taste on first sip, but there's a nice brightness that's coming out to where apple pie with like just a nice grated orange peel on it.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan. The finish isn't my favorite. It's just, it's a little dry for me. But
I love what sits on the palate. Once again, I mean, it's finishing a little better now. That second sip was much better than the first. I still get loads of orange peel, citrus, black tea, and I'll give you the cinnamon.
Okay, I'll take the cinnamon. Let's score it. Census, hit me with it.
I think I'm going to go 76.
Okay, I was going to stay in the same ballpark. Like I said, to me, it's the same tier as what we just tasted with the Old Forester 1924, albeit $50 cheaper. I was going to go maybe a couple notches down. I believe I went 78. I'll go 75.
74, 76 was kind of where I was at. The nose on Old Forester is just elite. It doesn't match this. Even though this was very good, the palate had more complexity on the Old Forester. So pure senses, it's definitely better. It's close.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, we're staying in the same vein as we just did. It's smack dab in the middle of the good stuff. This isn't necessarily blowing my socks off in the sense that a couple other bottles we've tried this early this year have, that have gotten us into the kind of the mid 80s range as far as senses go. But it's smack dab in the middle of the good stuff. I'm a fan. At $68, bang for the buck it's going to make up some ground for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'll take it away with bang for the buck if you don't mind.
Please.
I'm going to go 68.
Just the price.
68.
So how much would you see it on the shelf, how much are you willing to pay?
80, 85. I'll probably go up close to what you pay for the barrel proofs of the Elijah Craigs, the Larcenys, and in that kind of vein as far as how expensive I'm willing to go for this bottle.
I'll go 62.
Okay.
Like I think I would match your price in terms of I would pay 80. I would pay the $10 a year. Love the bottle, love what they're doing, but I wouldn't go above the $10 per year.
Sure. That's fair.
Love them. Which one go, I guess kind of your scoring changed.
The scoring sells me on that. If you're taking price into account, I'm going New Riff 8 over Old Forester 1924.
So both on the shelf, you're picking up New Riff.
Yeah.
I respect that. I think I'd go Old Forester. Even though my scoring doesn't technically say that, I think...
Without taking difficulty of finding it into account?
No.
So, okay. Yeah. So I'm going New Riff 8. But yeah, man, I don't have a ton to wrap up with. The scores, as we've said a couple times now, are in that Patreon sheet if you have interest in seeing all that we've tried thus far in 2024. But other than that, man, 2 great bottles. Kind of sat on the back burner for a little while as we finished up our March Madness, but glad to finally get to those for sure.
Yeah. We got some fun ones still on the back burner that we've been itching to get to, and then we'll see what else pops up.
We'll see what the summer brings, man. To you guys, appreciate you being here. To you as well. You, man.
Cheers. Thanks for coming out.
Of course.